of the Doug Less Report. I'm your host, Bobby Marabia, with Max Sutton to my left, as usual.
Let's rumble again. It's only week 2, and there's more storylines, as always, for like a year's worth.
Well, first of all, Max, what a difference a week makes. A beautiful spring day on Sunday after last week's crazy wind and cold.
I think like 70% of the league was embracing for cold. So the Lost and Found has about 15 sweatshirts. So if those that left them on the field.
We sold 12 of them, so there's only 3 left.
Okay, but thank God it was gorgeous. It really was. It was a great day.
But Max, a word we like to use in the YMSL, the popular word is Ezeb. And for the first 2 weeks, I don't know about you, this is the most bizarre the first 2 weeks I've seen in a long, long time.
What was the year? The McGuire-Sosa year, 1998, when the balls were juiced. So we might have juiced balls. We might have some juiced bats.
I mean, it's a very strange. We have pitchers not pitching, pitching. We have shortstop pitching.
Right.
We have 74-year-old men playing first base.
You name it, it's been there. It's wild. It's a wild start.
The run production's gone through the roof.
An average year in the YMSL, I think a home run leader is like 4.
Yeah.
Average year, right? On a really strong year, I think like a Jordy Rameld one time at 5 or 6, and that was like a high number. I think some people already have, right?
Yeah.
So it's the numbers.
There's even talked about Ike Batesh MVP. I mean, there's a lot of strange rumblings going on.
Well, you know what? First game I was part of that we're going to jump into.
So we'll start off with Fireman's Playground.
Yes, Fireman's Playground. I do
great matchup.
I'm going to say before we even get into it, this Oriole team is the real deal. Before the season started, Sammy Towell said, they could either be, one of the worst or one of the best. Well, I think they're leaning on one of the best. They're a strong squad.
Well, we looked at their lineup. Their lineup was scary. We knew that. And the 2 big question marks I had was Jordy going to be back to his old Jordy of 2013 and 14, and is Max Yedid fully recovered? Those are the 2 big questions.
So it's funny you say those 2. Max Yedid, I've seen him pitch better. I think he'd tell you Sunday he wasn't at his finest. The field was tough. Jordy at the plate looked great. He's hitting the ball hard, and he looks like he's been in the gym.
Yeah.
He bulked up. Defensively, the infield, I don't think anybody had a good day. It was a tough day. I got a black and blue I showed on my arm from a Shalou shot. Balls were bouncing. You know what? Before we even get into the game, I want to get into a rule thing that we did get involved with the umpires. From now going forward, I do believe Fireman's Field Playground, which is a premier field in our league.
That is actually our World Series.
It's the World Series field. So just to be very clear, and because of these balls flying out, this may even happen more often. If a shot goes down, there's a little bush there
between the tennis court and the pole.
And the pole, right? There's a little bush there, and nobody was sure how to play it. Week 1, they played it. Get whatever you can. Week 2, Jackie Towell and myself. It's our own fault. We didn't really clarify it with the umpires. It happened, and they called a ground rule double, and we all knew it was a bad call. Nobody hurt or lost for the game. And the runs came in anyway, and Jackie got the benefit at the time. Like I said, didn't make a difference. We didn't argue, but going forward, it's everything you can get.
Yeah.
So everybody should know.
But I'm a little surprised Kenny, if he knew it the week before, was everything.
Whatever. Nobody was angry.
Yeah. No, he ended up scoring anyway. But it's just it's good to know that, and that's the way it should be, even when we play it down.
And also for a few reasons, and I don't blame left field. This is the ball's right, but it go like this,
and then you get a double.
And you get a double instead of a triple or a home run. And like Joe Greenberg was running from first, the guy might have scored on a single. So it's going to be all you can get. Put your hand in the bush, whether it's poison ivy or not, and throw it in.
Yeah. And even if you don't, if it's a shot there, he's going to score.
Right. And if you can't get it, the guy earned a nice shot.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So that's going to be the rule going forward. Jumping into the games now. Oh, boy. So we don't have 45 minutes for one game. But I will say this, I think for all intents and purposes, almost every team tried to call this week almost like week 1.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because last week it was really rough with the wind and the rain. We got off to a really awful start. Before we could blink our eyes and get comfortable in our positions, we were down 6-0. It was walks. It was errors. We let down Leo, a lot of errors. Missing cutoff man on our end. It was a disaster. And you know what? Credit to Jackie Towell's team. Maurice Haber is swinging a hot bat. But
legal bat, he claims.
right. So I'm gonna say,
Bat.
how hot is that bat? We'll get to in a few. But Jackie Towell, Steven Chaloux, word around town right now is he's far and away the best hitter in the league. You know, neck and neck with Nathan
I mean,
Zolt
we're
in the
seeing
ball, but
averages at almost 900.
forget it. He's 13 for 14 to start a season with, and I mean, no blue pits yet. We're
Yeah.
talking. I mean, he has like a one ground ball that people say it goes through, it doesn't, but he's really killed the ball. Jackie Towell hitting nice. They were all hitting. They really were. So credit to them as well. They were hitting the ball really well. They got a good team. We made a great comeback. We were down 8-3, and it was 10-7. I'm fast forwarding here. Our team went up 11-10. Svi Volinsky, big shout out to Svi. The guy is a rookie in the league, and we got him late. I knew he could swing the bat, but he really is hitting the ball nicely. Harry Braha,
he's a big guy, too.
He's a big guy.
Power,
he's like 6'2", 6'3". He's got some pop. He's a good player. Harry Braha, his debut, man, did he start strong. He's I don't know what the stat line was, but he's in the ball well. So about Mo Casson, his first week back, hit a home run. We were up 11-10. Unfortunately, we could not hold it. They tied it up right away, and they went on to win like 14-12 or 14-11. So it was a really big seesaw battle. Just to fast forward to game 2, again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. Game 2 was the more traditional softball game that we grown to expect and love in the YMSL. My team was down 3-1. Svi Volinsky, same again, had a 2-run single or double to tie it up. Mo Casson hit a big 2-out single to bring home Michael Solomon and Joe Greenberg. Michael Solomon's the one that hit the ball in those trees.
Savon having a big year also.
Yes, he's trying. He's in the, and by the way, he got robbed a few times. He had a couple of hard line drives, and Jordy Rameld made one hell of a catch on a leaning line drive on Michael as well. But Mo Casson took the lead 5-3, and when the game got dicey, last inning, we got the leadoff guy out. Jordy Rameld walked. Steven Chaloux got a single. They went on to tie the game. Bases loaded hit. Second and third, they had the winning run just 63 feet away. Albert Zolta. We were thinking about walking Albert Zolta to make the bases loaded to create a force. We chose not to. Albert ended up grounding out, brought us to extra innings. And Isaac Mino Dweck hit a big triple earlier on in the day, who started our comeback. He got a big hit. Runner on second.
I always felt he's one of the more underrated players
and
in the league.
He's batting righty now.
Oh, he is.
He's batting
righty.
That's it. He's not batting lefty. He says he sees the ball better righty. Cross side when he did it, but you know what? He came last week and he hit the ball hard about 5 times. I don't know how much he had to show for it, but he hit a really hard shot. It was actually a really good stop by the infielder, but there was an ill-advised throw that a run came home on. And then Elliot Saka sort of put the nail in the coffin, because one run today wasn't easy to win a game with. Elliot Saka had a 2-run shot, a bomb down the left field
Elliot
line.
Saka named co-player of the week.
He was.
This week, yeah.
Okay, so he's a great clip. He's batting second in our lineup. So it's him and Joe Greenberg.
Above Jamal, co-players of the week.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So that was big. Ended up Steven Chaloux hit a solo shot in bottom of the 8th, which didn't do much, and we got out of the game. So now on to what everybody's talking about. It turned out being people using my name. I don't want to, whatever. You could say whatever you like. There was a statement that went around from Mr. Steven Chaloux. Nobody.
Well, I find it first ironic that this happened in the game that you were in, knowing all the
bats and the rules.
The bats and the.
So I didn't think to look at a bat.
Umpire that you are.
Yeah, lovely. I didn't think to look at a bat, and you know what? I'm not gonna say anybody on our team didn't use that same bat. I mean, I don't think we did, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
The bat was there on the sideline. Anybody could have picked it up and used it. The end of the day, we were talking. Bobby was talking to an umpire, a gentleman who was an umpire.
The head of the Monmouth Ocean County.
So he's a 30-year umpire. Yeah. He gave some interesting stats just for people to know that I think just for safety reasons everybody should know. He's saying USA bats are 98 miles an hour bats off the bat when a guy hits the ball. And the balls we use are gold balls. They're hard balls. USSA bats are 120 mile an hour ball speed off the bat. That's a 22 mile an hour difference. So just picture, that's a 20%. Imagine a car going 22 miles an hour, a ball coming off the bat, an extra 22 miles an hour. Forget about could get a guy a hit more, which it could, that could make a ball go through the hole better. but danger-wise.
First, now you put that on, and the gold ball on top
On the
of
gold
it.
ball, right. We don't allow that to prevent someone from getting hurt worse than they may, from the head assigner of Ocean County ASA. So now there is no more ASA officially, people are saying,
No, it
but
became it's ASA USA.
USA. So
Yeah.
it's still an ASA legalized bet that has to be used. And it is for safety measures, not because we don't want beer league scores,
Yeah.
not because of anything. It's for safety.
Right.
22 miles an hour off of that, off a guy like, I mean, you want to say other people using the bat that aren't as big and strong. Obviously, it's not as scary. But when these guys are, you know, big guys, and a guy like Ali Marshall, let's say, not that he's using it. So that's why nobody did anything wrong. Nobody did anything facetious, intentional. We're not calling anybody out. I don't think the league is at all. But it is something that we had to be.
No, but it's something
by.
now we got to be made aware of
Right.
the situation again for
Like,
safety
no
reasons.
games are under protest. Now, would Steven Shalou have gotten 3 less hits? Who knows? I don't know. It's going to be interesting looking at next week's matchups.
But interesting, Steven, to his credit, came out with a statement.
Yes, and it was interpreted.
Yeah,
in,
we hired an interpreter
Okay.
to get it in English. And, apparently, he was in Avenue P or Avenue S Park in McDonald, and a gentleman came with a bat. Suspect came with a bat.
It was a black market salesman and sold him the bat.
And sold him the bat. And I think he should have been a little suspicious because instead of ASA, it said ISIS on the bat. So
ISA, ISIS.
Yeah, he read it wrong. But the YMSL Police Department and Secret Service has uncovered a suspect in this. So to try to retrieve his
money and
money
back.
It cost him a couple $100. He bought it. The guy came with it.
I mean, the way he hit on Sunday was worth every penny.
He did. But I think also they should have been a little suspicious because that Eli Madelon used it and hit a 400-foot shot.
I did hear that too.
You know, so I mean, start
Now,
asking questions.
You do have to make a good swing. You know, they say this in the major leagues with McGuire and on
Yeah.
Sosa, right? You do have to put the bat on the ball and hit a decent shot.
Yeah.
You know, like Joe McEwing wasn't hitting.
Yeah, you
70
still
home
have
runs.
to. You still have to hit the.
Yeah, you still have to be a good
it's just
ball
gonna
player.
go when you do connect. It's gonna go.
It's going to go further. So, and in this game of softball, we don't play with fences for the most
Right.
part, right? So it does expand the field.
Right.
The further you can hit a ball, the more blue pits you can get. You know, just guys don't get the balls as
Right.
much. So it is something that we had to bring up.
Yeah.
And
but I would like to say we do have the suspect, a picture of the suspect. Yeah. And he's known to be armed and dangerous. So if anybody has seen this gentleman,
Yeah, take a good look at his eyes. Okay,
see him,
that is the black bat.
Muhammad
salesman.
Al Wahibi.
Yeah, I know.
and he's
wanted.
he's made statements that he does not like the YMSL and what they stand for. So we're gonna have to. If anybody's seen, it's kind of hard to see.
Stay away. Oh my
He is
goodness.
very, very dangerous, and
So Steven
hopefully
Shalou.
he'll get his money back. And
Okay, did he get Player of the Week 1? Steven Shalou?
yes, he did.
Oh, we did it.
Yes, he
Okay,
did.
so that's another.
By the way, did he use that bat in week 1? He claims he
no,
got
he
it
did
for week
not.
2.
He did not have it, and he did not have it last year.
Oh,
The bat
he bought it between week 1
yeah,
and week 2.
the bat he did use. I could attest when he was using it, the cap was constantly
right.
coming off. I remember last year it happening. So, I think he just bought another bat now.
All right.
But
So
good
he'll
luck.
learn. He'll know. I don't think he
Yeah.
needs it. He's one guy who doesn't
Exactly. I
need it.
was gonna say if anybody, I mean the other guys on their team use it, maybe and maybe no. I don't think it's gonna make that big a difference.
Right.
But for safety reasons, again, it had to be brought up.
Okay, back
So-
to the action now. So
Yeah.
you ended up.
So we got a split.
Yeah. So
We
you
ended up getting a split. Very happy
Great
with our
game,
split.
game 2, by the way. It was
Yeah.
extra inning game.
Extra inning, 8-6, we got the win.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was happy. You know, usually the team that wins game 2 is the happier team with the
Yeah,
split.
because you go home with the win.
You go home with the win,
Yeah.
and the other guys saying, "Oh, what could have been." But these guys are good. The Orioles are a solid team. If Maurice Haber stays hot,
Yeah.
as I know last
By
year,
the way, that was a steal.
Yeah, they got
think
him
in the
late.
8th round. I think
They got him
They
late.
passed up a lot. A lot of teams could use that offense.
yeah,
You know.
they got him late. But last year he did go through a stint where he did not hit.
Yeah.
And then he ended the year in crunch time, playoff time. He was hitting well. And in the night league, he continued his good hitting. So maybe he found his niche again, because if he does keep hitting, their lineup is obviously one even deeper player because they have him batting 4th. And then they got Albert Zolta 5 and David Rishti 6, who's still also getting on base at
Yeah.
a really good clip. So
Got a big hit in that.
yeah, he got the hit. I think he tied the game
Yeah.
in the extra innings.
Right.
So they're really good. I felt really good about my team as well. What I liked most about my team personally is game 2, we buttoned it up on defense. We played defense. Thank God. I mean, game 1 and the first game of the season with a win, we figured it out. And, obviously it does take time. The goal in the league is everybody get better every week.
Yeah.
So I could see these guys getting better too. So
yeah. Like I've told somebody, the defense has not been great the first 2 weeks across the board. I think that obviously week 1 it was hard to grip the ball at the field, and
a lot of throwing errors and
again the lack of the good pitchers and the balls are flying out.
Balls coming out faster.
So so the Orioles are now 3-1.
3-1, and my team is an uncanny 2-1.
2-1.
Something you don't usually hear, but we're 2-1, and again we feel good. I mean, like I said, getting Harry Braun and Mo Kasem back was big. So that was our game.
Yeah, and let's not mention you do have that makeup game.
Yes.
May 18th on the Shavuot on Friday game.
That should be
a big crowd.
Should be a lot of fun. Across the field was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Across the field.
So now we have Fireman's East. We had Dem Bums versus Locked In.
Right. So Dem Bums was missing them captain, right?
Yeah.
Jacobati was not available.
It seems to be the community's destination. I've heard,
destination
weddings, destination bachelor parties.
Okay.
But now we had a destination birthday party. So.
Oh wow, good for them. Was it like a 50th birthday party?
No, 30th, Jacobati. Okay. So
good for him.
It was that was the reason he wasn't there with Sally and Tao.
Okay.
And actually, it was another reason Jeffrey Sacker was there for 50th birthday party.
That's right. Destination was in West Deal, so he was able to make game 2. So, apparently, Jack, thank God, didn't invite his whole